Wanna hear the truth, don't want no lies. I done told you about it 1,000 times, yeah.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Aisha Maurice, and I'm coming back at you guys with another story time. Well, this is part 4 of my fuckboy series. This story is very, very hard for me to tell. I don't know. Even though this happened about 4 years ago, it still kind of bothers me just a little bit. Excuse me if there are any form of tears in this video or anything, but you know, that's just how it goes. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I told you guys in the last story that after, you know, Valentine's Day, well, around Valentine's Day, things were a bit weird. But I didn't really pay attention to the signs or anything because, you know, I was happy and in love, or whatever the case may have been. Who knows? Like I said, I was 18, so I really didn't know what love was. But what I will say is that I knew something was going on, but I didn't want to ask questions because I didn't want a terrible reaction, if that makes any sense. So, I go to his house. Well, you know, I've been going back and forth to his house, whatever, and usually I would either meet him at the house or I'll meet him at the center. So I'll text him before, you know, I get off the bus, and I'm like, okay, what's your location? He'll give me a location. This particular day, he was at the center. So I go to the community center or whatever, and, you know, him and his friends are playing basketball per fucking usual, because that's all them niggas did was eat, smoke, ball, and play video games. That's all them niggas did. Nobody had a fucking job, you know. Sorry, not sorry, but nobody had a job. And I go in, I sit down, you know, I have like his phone and all that type of stuff or whatever, and I'm just on Twitter, and I hacked his Twitter that day. So, you know how stupid little shit we used to do. But at the same time, my name was in his bio, and he had tweeted my entire fucking government out on Twitter and was like, yo, this is my girl, you know. So my name was my at name was in his bio. So I'm scrolling down his timeline or whatever, and I see this girl. She's like laughing, like talking mad, like shit, like she's like subbing, and I can tell who the tweets were directed at, and you know, whatever the case may have been, because a friend of mine from high school replied to it, and she was like, I'm not even talking about you, blah 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 blah. So I went on my Twitter, and the same friend that replied to her had retweeted her on my timeline, so I retweeted her. And then I think I retweeted her first, and then I went on his Twitter and tweeted, and maybe she felt some type because she then texted his phone. This is the same girl. She then texted his phone. Oh, I think I left my panties at your house. So I immediately locked the phone, put the phone down, and continue on my phone, because at this point it's like, okay, you did that to get a reaction out of me, and what I'm not gonna do is give you the reaction that you wanted. So I put my phone down, I put his phone down, and I continued on my phone. So literally she had perfect timing with this text message, because as soon as she sent this message, freaking they were like taking like their little break from their game. So he comes over. I said, oh, you have a text message, and I gave him the phone. Like, I never unlocked his phone or anything. Like, I literally left the message on his lock screen. And to me, anybody who has like an iPhone or something, you should be smart enough to have it where your text messages do not pop up on your phone. So it should say the contact name, and then it should say iMessage. It shouldn't say contact name and then have the whole fucking message there. To me, that is the dumbest shit, because that's literally how this whole situation started. So I gave him the phone. He replied to the message, and then he like threw the phone in the chair and then went back to record or whatever. I still never said anything. Like, I didn't say, I did not react to it at all whatsoever. I didn't give a reaction. So they play one more round, and then, you know, we gather up everything, and then we walk to his house, which was really like literally outside. So we get to the house, and he goes and he takes a shower. When he goes to take a shower, I shut like the door to his room, and like I break down and I start crying, because it was just kept playing in the back of my head, you know. And I know that she did it on purpose, but it was, you know, the principle, you know. It's like, I didn't react in that situation, you didn't react in this situation, but yet she, you know, felt like she had a place where she could say some wild shit like that, you know. And I called up a friend of mine, and he basically was saying to me, you know, calm down, talk to him about it if you feel comfortable talking to him about it. You don't necessarily have to bring it up, because it literally just happened. But if anything, if you don't get what you want to hear, get up and leave. That's literally what he said to me. And I just kept that in my head, because it was like, okay, I trust this guy. This guy is like a brother to me. So I'm going to, you know, take that in. So he comes back. By the time he gets out the shower, like, I've calmed down. Like, there was no sign of me crying at all whatsoever. And we lay down to watch a movie, and I basically look up at him, and I'm like, you know that text was sent on purpose. And he was like, yeah, I know. And that was it. We didn't say anything else about it. That was literally the conversation. You know that text was sent on purpose. Yeah, I know. That was it. So I leave at my usual time, and I don't know what happened between the time I left and the time I got home, but later on that night, I get a message from him, and then the girl follows me on Twitter. So I don't know what they were going back and forth with. I don't know if he went off on her for even doing that, but he messaged me, and he said to me, I'm sorry, but for the next 24 hours, I have a baby on the way. And I kid you not, I literally felt my heart break in half. Like, I literally could not accept what was just said to me. And I was like, what are you saying to me? Like, what the fuck does that mean? And he was like, she's gonna follow you and explain everything. Just follow her back and she'll DM you. Now, I have those messages still. Thank God for Twitter. So as I read them, they're gonna be on the screen as well. I don't know which side I'm gonna put them. I'm probably gonna put them on this side. So here we go. She said, I'm sorry for complicating your relationship. That was never my intent at all. I'm assuming you know our history or some of it. I then said, he told me about you, so I didn't have a problem with him sorting his feelings out when I talked to him. I didn't even bring up that day you text him and I had his phone. I never questioned it. I just want to know what it is that you guys got going on, because he said something that completely differs from what I put together. So she says, basically, we came back into communication because he hit me up on Twitter. We talked and sorted some stuff out from the past. I came to see him a couple days later. We started spending time together again. Shortly after that, we had sex, and that's been going on for the past month. He told me he was in a relationship but wasn't very happy. I told him I wanted him back, and we both know we both each other, this, I'm literally reading it how it says, know that we still love one another, and he said that he was debating leaving you or not, and while I told him just let me know, I told him just let me know what it is. He told me that since I left him, he didn't just want to up and leave you because it wasn't fair. He wanted to give you the same chance that I had. We agreed just to be friends, and the night after that, I stayed the night, and we had sex again. That was the last time. None of that should have even occurred. I was under the impression that he was already in the process of leaving you, so I didn't care much. I didn't know you, no disrespect. I said, so y'all been having sex since February. Where me acting like a retard on Twitter comes into play. We had a conversation yesterday, and I told him that I would just bounce. The situation is difficult as it is. And I basically wanted to take myself out of it. Shit wasn't going to change. And he wanted to be friends, which is why I blocked you, so I couldn't lurk on your shit or his, but my emotions got the best of me, which is why I unblocked you and started being petty again. I love Freckles, and I'm sure you do too, but this shit is a little more than I can take, so I won't be a problem anymore. So I said to her, I assume that you're keeping the baby. She said, as of right now, I'm not sure. We're discussing abortion. Isn't something that I believe in, but it wouldn't be the best time to have a baby. I said, whatever you decide, I'm there. If you decide to have one, I'll go with you, because that's just the type of person I am. If anything, I would like to be your friend. You know, which is me being a dummy bitch, because why the fuck would I want to be friends with someone who basically told me, I knew that you guys were in a relationship, but I didn't know you, so I didn't care. Oddly enough, I wouldn't mind being friends. I feel like we're mad similar, which he's always told me, but being the salty bitch that I am, I said hell no, until I basically started watching you and realized that we are a lot alike. I'm sorry for everything, honestly. Neither one of us meant for it to get this far and this out of hand. I said, it's okay, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, I'm not going crazy or anything, I'm just happy that this is all out and open. She said, so am I. I said, you know, this is just another lesson in my book. Thank you for clearing everything up. She said, it's life, shit isn't easy. And then, you know, I said to her, I was like, he said something about you getting an abortion tomorrow. And then she said she was going to call for information. But she said that was most likely the option that she was going to go with, which she did. And then at the end of the messages was just us exchanging phone numbers. I then messaged him and I told him basically, look, you did this and I thought that, you know, we were gonna do the whole kid thing. Like, I thought I was gonna be the mother of your first child, and he was like, oh, but you still can be, blah 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 blah. And I was like, at the end of the day, whether she gets the abortion or not, that's still the mother of your first child, whether the baby makes it into this world or not. And she was 19, I was 18, and again he was 21. She already had a kid who was maybe about 2 years old at the time, 2 or 3. And I distanced myself from him because I didn't feel like it was like necessary for me to still be in the situation while she was still dealing with her situation. So she ended up letting me know that she got it, and although it was a relief for me, I still didn't know what I was gonna do as far as him. And I went to his house one day, and I didn't necessarily go to his house to see him. I went to see his friend, and I came in the house. I didn't speak to anyone but his friend. That was it. That was the only person I spoke to. And I ended up separating myself because the air was too much for me. I'm a person that goes off the vibes, and the vibe in the room was terrible, and I really could not be in that room. So I separated myself, and I went. I lay down in his room, and his friend left, and that should have been my cue to go as well. But he ended up coming in the room to get me to watch a movie or some shit like that with him, which I didn't pay attention to. I left. I tried to leave, and he ended up coming and sitting on on the steps in the stairwell. And I'm literally gonna tell you, this man had on a white t-shirt and white jogging pants, on some I'm an angel type shit. And I told y'all he was light skinned, so this nigga was literally glowing in the stairwell. So I go to walk out the door, and he stops me and he grabs me, and he starts to cry in my chest, and I'm just like, I don't know what you're crying for, but if this is you telling me that you're sorry, I don't know what this is supposed to mean to me. I don't get what you think that you crying is gonna do. I had developed a nervous condition off of this situation. I couldn't eat for about 4 to 6 weeks. I used to shake uncontrollably. You would think that something was legit wrong with me. If somebody was to say his name to me, I would get nauseous, start shaking, and then eventually I would throw up. Or if I tried to eat something, I would throw it up. I was at my skinniest in this relationship. I might have been 120, 125, sunken in. My face was super, super, super skinny. It was really, really bad. And I just wanted for him to realize that he put the 3 of us in danger, and the only person in this situation that benefited from it at all was him. So after some time, him and his best friend took a trip to Philly, and from what I was told, he talked about me the entire week that they were there or whatever, and saying how much he loved me and how much he made a mistake and how he almost lost the love of his life, his future wife, and all this extra stuff. And I really didn't want to give up on the relationship, but at the same time I couldn't be in the relationship 100% anymore. Like, I was there, but I was over it, if that makes any sense. Like, you broke me, and I don't know if I can ever forgive you. Till this very day in 2017, I have not forgiven him at all whatsoever, because to me it was like I let my guard down and you took advantage of that. I don't know, but I just wish that in the midst of all of this, that he would have probably thought about what he was doing, because I'm much younger than you, and it was kind of like he had molded me to where I can do whatever the fuck he wanted. I was basically being, like, my mind was being controlled by him, and I realized that later. Like, I had started to change the way I dressed. I covered up a lot more than what I was, like, really used to. Everyone knows I say this all the time. I do not wear jeans. Like, jeans are not in my wardrobe. I was wearing jeans frequently. Like, at this point, summer was approaching. It was getting a little warmer outside. I was like wearing like sweats and jeans almost every day, and people were like really like, this isn't you, like, what the hell is going on? But that whole thing taught me, if anything, always go with your gut feeling, because I really did feel like something was wrong, and instead of me questioning it, I let it happen, and my end result was getting my heart broken and being sick because I wouldn't let go. So after March, April was cool. May was cool until his 22nd birthday, which you guys will find out about in the next video. This ends the 4th story time in my fuckboy series. If you guys have any more questions about this particular story, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Let's just say I was the Karrueche to his Chris Brown. I was the Karrueche to his Chris Brown. You guys know on my social media, everything is Elisha Maurice except for Instagram. Instagram is Blue Rebel X3. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay, the Marry, Fuck, or Kill video is still coming. Editing in that video is a bitch. Sorry, not sorry. I'm actually proud of myself for not crying in this video. In parts where I was about to cry, my camera turned itself off and or my battery died, so you guys didn't get to see that, which is good. I'm happy. But yeah, the story gets worse and worse from here. This was like the big part of it right here, was the whole, not even the cheating part, the baby part was the, you know, the icing on the fucking cake. But to my rebels, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in Florida, because I'm not recording any more videos until I get to Florida. Oh my god, guys, I'm going to Florida next week, okay? Which means you guys get to see the pool party all together. I was gonna say something really, really shady and I caught myself. So you guys get to see the pool party all together for the first time. We're gonna be living together for a week in Orlando, Florida for my birthday. I'm so excited. Like, I'm really excited for you guys to see like the vlogs and stuff, because I already know this shit is gonna be fucking crazy. I am gonna be going live on my birthday, so expect an IRL stream from me on my birthday on Twitch. I'm not doing it on YouTube. I'm going to do it on Twitch, and then I'm going to upload the VOD from Twitch to my channel. So if you miss it on Twitch, I will upload it here, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to say this again. I love you guys, and I'll see you in Florida.